Cristiano Ronaldo is known all around the globe as one of the greatest footballers to ever play the game. But when people speak about his success, his goals, his records, and his trophies, they often overlook the true foundation of everything he has achieved, his work ethic. Talent alone is never enough, and Ronaldo has proved that time and time again. From the streets of Madeira to the grandest stages of world football, he has shown that the difference between being good and being legendary is the discipline, sacrifice, and relentless hunger to work harder than anyone else. That is why, beyond all the natural gifts he has, it is his work ethic that stands out as his greatest strength and the core of his incredible journey. From the very beginning of his career, Ronaldo understood that talent can only take you so far. Many young players start their careers with extraordinary skills, dazzling tricks, and natural flair, but only a handful manage to remain at the top for decades. Ronaldo recognized early that if he relied on talent alone, he would not reach the level he dreamed of. So he committed himself to a daily routine of improvement, training, and discipline that separated him from the rest. Whether it was arriving at training earlier than everyone else, staying longer on the pitch after practice, or perfecting the smallest details of his fitness, Ronaldo built his empire on consistency and hard work. That commitment to self-improvement gave him the edge over equally talented players who faded away because they lacked the same dedication. One of the defining features of Ronaldo's work ethic is his obsession with physical fitness. He has always said that football is not just a game of skill, but also a game of the body. To compete at the highest level, to outrun defenders, to jump higher, to last 90 minutes with full intensity, you need more than technique. You need a machine, like body. Ronaldo crafted his body through years of rigorous training, strict diets, and discipline that goes beyond what most athletes are willing to endure. He doesn't drink alcohol, avoids unhealthy foods, sleeps at exact hours, and follows an unmatched fitness regime. The results speak for themselves. Even at an age when most footballers retire, Ronaldo continues to perform at the highest level because he built his career on the foundation of discipline. His body is proof of his mindset. He refused to let age, fatigue, or complacency dictate his career. Ronaldo's work ethic also shines in his mental strength. Football is as much a mental game as it is physical, and Ronaldo has shown extraordinary resilience in dealing with pressure. From being booed by rival fans to facing criticism from the media, he never allowed negativity to break his confidence. Instead, he used every doubt, every insult, and every setback as fuel to push harder. Where others might crumble under pressure, Ronaldo thrives. He trains his mind to believe in himself when no one else does. He embraces the pressure of taking decisive penalties, scoring crucial goals, and carrying the hopes of millions of fans. That mental toughness is a result of his work ethic, because discipline is not only about physical training, but also about training the mind to remain strong in adversity. Another vital aspect of Ronaldo's strength is his relentless pursuit of improvement. Even after winning 5 Ballon d'Ors, multiple Champions League titles, and becoming the all-time top scorer in several competitions, he has never stopped working. Many players, after reaching a certain level of success, grow comfortable and complacent, but not Ronaldo. He sees every season as a new challenge, every game as a new opportunity to prove himself. He is never satisfied with what he achieved yesterday. He always looks at what he can achieve tomorrow. That hunger to stay at the top year after year is what makes him extraordinary. Hard work for him is not a phase but a way of life. His legacy is built on the principle that success is never owned, it is rented, and rent is due every day. Ronaldo's leadership is another area where his work ethic shines. He doesn't just inspire teammates with words, he inspires them with action. Younger players who train with him often speak about how he pushes them to improve just by the way he conducts himself. His professionalism, his punctuality, and his discipline set the standard for others to follow. In the locker room and on the pitch, he shows that greatness is not about ego, but about constant commitment. He leads by example, demonstrating that the true path to success is paved with sweat, sacrifice, and relentless focus. This is why even rivals respect him. They know that what he has achieved is not luck, but the result of unmatched determination. His journey also proves that sacrifice is the price of greatness. Ronaldo left his family at a young age to pursue his dream, endured loneliness, faced financial struggles, and overcame countless challenges. At every stage, he could have chosen comfort, but instead he chose the harder path. That choice reflects his mindset. He was willing to sacrifice short-term pleasures for long-term greatness. Success demands giving up things most people are not willing to let go of, and Ronaldo's career is a testament to this truth. He sacrificed his childhood comforts, unhealthy habits, and distractions to stay focused on the bigger picture. That is what sets him apart from so many others who had talent but lacked sacrifice. Perhaps the most inspiring thing about Ronaldo's work ethic is that it shows ordinary people that success is not just about being born gifted. Not everyone has his speed, strength, or finishing ability, but everyone can choose discipline, dedication, and hard work. He is living proof that while talent opens the door, work ethic keeps it open. Young athletes across the world look at him and realize that dreams can be achieved if you are willing to train when others sleep, run when others walk, and fight when others quit. His message to the world is simple. Talent gets you noticed, but hard work makes you unforgettable. Even now, in the twilight of his career, Ronaldo's dedication has not faded. He still trains with the same intensity as when he was a teenager trying to make his name. He continues to chase records, push limits, and set new standards. That is why his legacy will never be defined only by goals or trophies, but by the mindset he represents. The mindset of never settling, never stopping, and never giving less than 100%. His work ethic has not only made him one of the greatest athletes of all time, but has also turned him into a global symbol of persistence and dedication. Cristiano Ronaldo's story is not just about football, it is about life. It is about how hard work, discipline, and resilience can turn dreams into reality. It is about how greatness is not given, but earned through countless hours of unseen effort. It is about how success is not a destination, but a journey fueled by daily commitment. Beyond talent, beyond fame, beyond records, his true strength has always been his work ethic. And that is why he stands not only as a football legend, but as an inspiration for anyone who dares to dream big and is willing to work harder than anyone else to achieve it. Discipline is the foundation of everything Cristiano Ronaldo has achieved in his life and career. From a young boy in Madeira with big dreams to becoming one of the most successful and admired athletes on the planet, discipline has been the invisible force guiding his every move. When most people talk about Ronaldo, they focus on his goals, his trophies, his fame, and his records. But if you look deeper, you will see that none of those things would have been possible without the iron discipline he has built into his life. Discipline is not glamorous. It is not something people celebrate every day, but it is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. For Ronaldo, discipline means committing to routines that others might find boring, making sacrifices that others are unwilling to make, and staying consistent in the pursuit of improvement no matter how much success he has already achieved. From the very beginning of his journey, discipline showed itself in the smallest details. As a young player in Sporting Lisbon's academy, Ronaldo was already known for staying back after training to work on free kicks, finishing, and fitness when others were heading home. That discipline, even as a teenager, revealed the mindset of someone who understood that talent alone was not enough. Every time he chose practice over comfort, every time he chose to repeat a drill instead of resting, he was building not just his skills, but also his character. Discipline is not about doing something once in a while. It is about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, and Ronaldo made that his way of life. One of the clearest expressions of his discipline is his approach to fitness. Ronaldo has always been obsessed with maximizing his physical potential. Discipline for him means eating the right food at the right time, avoiding anything that could slow him down, and following a strict training schedule that most people would find unbearable. He avoids alcohol, sugary drinks, and processed foods because he knows that every small choice adds up to long-term performance. Even something as simple as sleep is governed by discipline. He doesn't just rest when he's tired. He follows a structured sleeping pattern that allows his body to recover at its best. That is discipline, choosing what is necessary over what is easy, and making decisions that serve your long-term goals instead of your short-term pleasures. Discipline is also evident in his training intensity. Ronaldo doesn't just attend practice because it is required. He turns every training session into a competition with himself. He is often the first to arrive and the last to leave. He doesn't rely on natural ability to carry him through. He pushes his body through repetitions, through drills, through conditioning exercises until he knows he has gone beyond his limits. That discipline has allowed him to maintain the highest level of performance for nearly 2 decades, something that is extremely rare in football. Many players shine for a few seasons and then fade away, but Ronaldo's discipline has kept him at the top even as he ages, because discipline allows you to adapt, evolve, and maintain consistency when others give up. Beyond the physical side, discipline is also mental. Ronaldo has faced setbacks, criticisms, and failures throughout his career, but his discipline keeps him focused. He does not allow distractions, negativity, or temporary struggles to shake his mindset. Discipline means controlling your emotions when others lose control, staying committed to the process even when results don't come immediately, and focusing on the next challenge instead of dwelling on the past. When he misses a chance, when he loses a match, or when critics attack him, he doesn't spiral into self-doubt. Instead, he uses discipline to reset his mind, focus on improvement, and come back stronger. That ability to stay calm under pressure, to block out the noise, and to keep working is what has allowed him to consistently perform in the biggest games and moments. Another dimension of discipline is sacrifice, and Ronaldo has made countless sacrifices throughout his life. As a boy, he left his family behind at a very young age to chase his dream in Lisbon. He sacrificed the comfort of being at home to live in an unfamiliar city where life was tough and expectations were high. Later, as his career advanced, he continued to sacrifice the normal pleasures that many people his age enjoyed. While others partied, Ronaldo trained. While others indulged, he controlled his diet. While others looked for shortcuts, he committed to discipline. These sacrifices might seem small when viewed individually, but collectively, they are the reason he reached the pinnacle of world football. Discipline is not just about what you do, it is also about what you are willing to give up, and Ronaldo's willingness to sacrifice is proof of his disciplined mindset. Discipline also shows in the way he treats every stage of his career. Even after winning 5 Ballon d'Ors and numerous titles, he has never relaxed his discipline. Many players become complacent once they reach the top. They reduce their effort, they let fame and wealth distract them, and they lose their hunger. But Ronaldo has shown that discipline is not temporary. It is not something you practice only when you are chasing success. It is something you maintain even when you have achieved it. That's why, even in his late 30s, he continues to train as if he were still a teenager trying to prove himself. His discipline ensures that he is always ready, always sharp, and always prepared for the next challenge. One of the most inspiring lessons from Ronaldo's discipline is that it proves greatness is a choice. Not everyone is born with his speed or strength, but everyone can choose discipline. Everyone can choose to wake up early, to work harder, to eat cleaner, and to stay focused. Discipline is available to all, but only a few are willing to practice it daily. Ronaldo's life shows that discipline is not about being perfect, but about being consistent. It is about doing the right things over and over until they become habits. He didn't become great overnight. He became great because day after day, year after year, he chose discipline over comfort. Ronaldo's discipline has also influenced those around him. Teammates often speak about how his professional habits set an example for others.
Younger players who watch him realize that talent alone will not carry them far. They see first, and that discipline is the real secret. By leading with discipline, Ronaldo not only elevates himself, but also raises the standard for his team. His presence alone reminds others that if they want to reach his level, they must be willing to make the same sacrifices and commit to the same discipline. In this way, his influence goes beyond his personal achievement. It creates a culture of hard work and focus. Even outside of football, Ronaldo's discipline has shaped the way he manages his life. He is disciplined with his time, with his family, with his business ventures, and with his public image. He understands that success requires balance and control, and that without discipline, even the most talented person can lose everything. His discipline extends beyond the pitch and becomes a way of living, showing that true greatness is built not only on talent or opportunity, but on a lifestyle rooted in structure and commitment. In the end, Ronaldo's career is a clear example of why discipline is his greatest weapon. It has allowed him to transform his natural ability into long-lasting excellence. It has carried him through setbacks, kept him focused in the face of fame, and given him the ability to sustain greatness over decades. Discipline is not flashy, but it is powerful. It is the quiet force that has fueled every sprint, every goal, every trophy, and every victory in his career. His story reminds the world that talent may give you a start, but discipline is what allows you to finish strong. Without discipline, Ronaldo would not be the legend he is today. With it, he became not only one of the greatest footballers in history, but also an inspiration to anyone who dares to dream big and is willing to pay the price of discipline to achieve it. Obsession with improvement is one of the qualities that sets Cristiano Ronaldo apart from almost every other footballer who has ever played the game. For most players, reaching the professional level is enough of an achievement. For many, winning a few trophies, earning money, and gaining recognition is where the dream ends. But for Ronaldo, nothing is ever enough. He is obsessed with getting better every single day, no matter how much he has already achieved, no matter how many goals he has scored, and no matter how many records he has broken. Improvement is not a goal he occasionally pursues. It is a lifestyle, an addiction, and a driving force that shapes everything he does. This obsession is what has allowed him to remain at the top of world football for 2 decades, while so many others have come and gone. From the earliest days of his career, Ronaldo displayed this hunger to improve. As a young boy in Madeira, he would spend hours practicing with the ball, repeating drills over and over until he felt he had mastered them. Even after long training sessions with his team, he would continue practicing on his own, working on his weaker foot, his dribbling, or his finishing. This obsession with repetition and detail is what gave him the edge over other youngsters who had talent but lacked the desire to push themselves further. Improvement was never something he left to chance. It was something he chased deliberately, with energy and focus. As he grew older and entered the professional stage, this obsession only intensified. At Manchester United, Ronaldo arrived as a skinny teenager with raw skill and flashy tricks. Many doubted whether he would adapt to the physical demands of the Premier League, but Ronaldo saw this as an opportunity to improve. He added muscle, developed his physique, and transformed his body into one of the most powerful athletic machines in football. He studied the game, refined his decision-making, and learned to combine flair with efficiency. By the time he left Manchester United, he was no longer just a talented winger. He was one of the most complete forwards in the world. That transformation didn't happen by accident. It was the direct result of his obsession with constant growth. Improvement for Ronaldo has never been limited to physical attributes. He has worked tirelessly on technical skills, ensuring that there are no weaknesses in his game. He trained his weaker foot until it was nearly as strong as his dominant one, allowing him to score with either. He practiced heading until he became one of the most dangerous aerial threats in football history. He studied free kicks and penalties until he became a reliable set-piece taker. His finishing ability was honed through thousands of repetitions, so that when the moment came in big games, he could execute with perfection. For Ronaldo, every skill in football was an area where he could get better, and he refused to accept being average in any category. One of the most fascinating aspects of Ronaldo's obsession with improvement is how he reinvented himself over time. When he was younger, he relied on explosive dribbling, speed, and flair to beat defenders. But as his career progressed and his body aged, he adapted his game. He shifted from being a wide winger to a central striker, focusing more on positioning, movement, and clinical finishing. This ability to evolve was not luck. It was the result of his constant pursuit of improvement. He analyzed his strengths, recognized the areas where he could maximize his impact, and adjusted accordingly. Most players struggle to maintain their level as they age, but Ronaldo's obsession with evolution has allowed him to remain lethal even in the later stages of his career. This obsession also extends to the smallest details of his daily life. Ronaldo is known to study his own performances meticulously, watching replays of his matches to see where he could have done better. He pays attention to his body language, his decision-making, and even the positioning of his teammates. Improvement for him is not just about scoring more goals. It is about becoming sharper in every possible way. He listens to coaches, fitness experts, and nutritionists, constantly seeking ways to gain even the slightest advantage. That kind of attention to detail is the hallmark of someone who refuses to be satisfied with good enough. His obsession with improvement is also reflected in his mentality toward failure. For Ronaldo, mistakes are not something to be ashamed of, they are opportunities to learn. When he misses a chance, he doesn't dwell on it with regret. Instead, he analyzes it, thinks about what went wrong, and makes adjustments. If he has a poor game, he uses it as motivation to train harder and correct his weaknesses. Many players allow failure to damage their confidence, but Ronaldo transforms it into fuel for growth. His mindset is always focused on asking, "How can I get better tomorrow than I was today?" That question drives his entire career. What makes his obsession even more powerful is that it never fades, regardless of how much he has achieved. Most athletes, after winning the biggest trophies, begin to relax. They enjoy the rewards of their hard work and lose the same intensity they once had. But Ronaldo has never allowed himself that comfort. Even after winning multiple Ballon d'Ors, Champions Leagues, and league titles, he still trains with the hunger of someone who has achieved nothing. That is the true measure of obsession, not being driven only when you are chasing success, but being equally driven even when you are at the very top. For Ronaldo, success is not a destination. It is simply a checkpoint on a journey that never ends. Another layer of his obsession with improvement lies in his competitiveness. Ronaldo is known for his relentless desire to be the best, not just better than his opponents, but better than himself. He competes against his own records, always seeking to surpass what he did the previous season. If he scores 40 goals one year, he aims for 50 the next. If he wins one trophy, he wants another. This mindset ensures that improvement is not optional, but mandatory. His competitive spirit feeds his obsession, pushing him to break limits that most would consider impossible. The impact of this obsession is not limited to Ronaldo alone. It influences everyone around him. His teammates often speak about how his dedication and drive force them to raise their own standards. When they see him staying behind after training, pushing himself in the gym, or maintaining strict discipline in his lifestyle, they feel inspired, or pressured, to do the same. This creates an environment where improvement is contagious, where everyone is motivated to chase higher levels because they see Ronaldo doing it relentlessly. His obsession becomes a standard, and that standard changes entire teams. On a larger scale, Ronaldo's obsession with improvement sends a powerful message to the world. It shows that greatness is not about being born perfect, but about striving for progress every single day. His career demonstrates that improvement is endless, that no matter how skilled, successful, or talented you are, there is always another level to reach. This message resonates with millions of fans, athletes, and dreamers who realize that progress is not about sudden leaps, but about continuous growth. Ronaldo embodies the principle that if you want to remain at the top, you cannot stand still. You must keep moving, keep working, and keep improving. In the end, Ronaldo's obsession with improvement is not just a part of his career, it is the essence of who he is. It explains his longevity, his consistency, and his ability to dominate football for so many years. Without this obsession, he might have been just another talented player who shone for a few seasons before fading away. With it, he became one of the greatest icons in the history of sports, a symbol of persistence, evolution, and relentless progress. His life teaches us that success is not about being satisfied with what you have, but about constantly striving for what you could become. Improvement is not a task to complete, but a journey without an end. That is why Cristiano Ronaldo's obsession with improvement remains one of his greatest strengths and one of the most inspiring aspects of his story. Consistency is one of the most important reasons why Cristiano Ronaldo has become a symbol of greatness, not only in football, but in the world of sports as a whole. Talent can win you a match, discipline can prepare you for challenges, obsession with improvement can push you to evolve, but consistency is what keeps you at the top year after year, decade after decade. It is easy to perform well for a season or two. It is possible for many players to shine at one tournament or enjoy a few years of success. But to remain at the very highest level for nearly 20 years, to continue scoring goals, breaking records, and winning trophies without ever fading away, that requires extraordinary consistency. Ronaldo's career is the ultimate example of how sustained excellence is built not on moments of brilliance, but on the daily habit of delivering results over and over again. Regardless of circumstances, consistency for Ronaldo has always been about setting a standard and refusing to drop below it. From his early days at Manchester United, he showed glimpses of his immense potential, but what truly defined his rise was his ability to deliver performances every single week. He was not the kind of player who had one great game followed by several poor ones. He made sure that every time he stepped onto the pitch, he made an impact, whether through scoring, assisting, or leading his team with energy and determination. This ability to repeat performances is what separates legends from temporary stars. Many players are capable of brilliance in flashes, but Ronaldo turned brilliance into a routine. One of the most impressive aspects of Ronaldo's consistency is his goal-scoring record. Across different leagues, different clubs, and different countries, he has consistently found the back of the net. At Manchester United, he scored prolifically in the Premier League. At Real Madrid, he averaged more than a goal per game over 9 seasons, a statistic almost unimaginable in modern football. At Juventus, he continued to score at the highest level despite moving to a new league at an age when most players decline. Even at an age past 35, when many strikers retire or lose their sharpness, Ronaldo continues to deliver goals for club and country. This remarkable consistency in front of goal is not just the product of natural finishing ability. It is the result of years of discipline, practice, and a mindset that refuses to allow complacency. Consistency also shows in the way Ronaldo maintains his physical condition. Football is a demanding sport where injuries, fatigue, and the natural decline of the body can reduce performance over time. Yet Ronaldo has avoided long-term declines because he treats his body like a temple, following a strict regime of diet, rest, and recovery. He doesn't allow himself to fall out of shape in the off-season, nor does he neglect the importance of recovery after games. This commitment ensures that he can perform at the same high level across an entire season, and repeat that year after year. Many players can play brilliantly for a few months but struggle to sustain form. Ronaldo, through his physical consistency, eliminates those dips. Mental consistency is another area where Ronaldo excels. Football careers are filled with highs and lows. Players face injuries, criticisms, defeats, and personal struggles. For many, these challenges cause dips in performance, and they are unable to maintain the same level of confidence and drive. Ronaldo, however, has mastered the art of mental consistency. He doesn't allow setbacks to derail him. When he misses a chance, he doesn't lose confidence. He continues creating opportunities until he scores. When he faces criticism, he uses it as fuel instead of letting it damage his self-belief. This consistency of mindset is one of the reasons why he has been able to deliver in high-pressure moments such as finals, penalty shootouts, and matches where the eyes of the world are watching. He doesn't let nerves or emotions get in the way. He maintains focus and delivers. Consistency is not only about personal performance, but also about reliability as a leader. Ronaldo has been a dependable figure for every team he has played for, always giving maximum effort regardless of the situation. Whether his team is winning comfortably or struggling in a difficult match, his energy and commitment never fade. Teammates know they can count on him to show up, to give everything, and to lead by example. This reliability has made him one of the most trusted figures in football, not only for clubs, but also for the Portuguese national team. His consistency and leadership has been instrumental in Portugal's successes, including their Euro 2016 victory and the Nations League triumph. Another remarkable part of Ronaldo's consistency is how he has adapted his game over time while still delivering results. As a young winger, his consistency was in his dribbling, pace, and creativity. As he matured, he shifted to becoming a forward who scored regularly. Later, as age reduced some of his explosiveness, he focused more on positioning, anticipation, and clinical finishing inside the box. Through all these evolutions, one thing remained constant: his ability to deliver. That shows that consistency does not mean doing the exact same thing forever, but maintaining the same standard of excellence even as circumstances change. Ronaldo's ability to reinvent himself while staying consistently effective is one of the hallmarks of his greatness. Consistency also extends beyond the pitch into his lifestyle. Ronaldo does not live two separate lives, one as a professional and another of recklessness off the field. His lifestyle is aligned with his goals, which is why he has been able to remain consistent for so long. He doesn't allow late night partying, unhealthy eating, or distractions to affect his performance. He treats every day as part of the bigger picture of his career. This consistency in lifestyle choices reinforces the consistency in his performances, because what you do off the field always reflects on the field. By living with discipline day after day, he has created a life where high performance becomes automatic. The beauty of Ronaldo's consistency is that it creates trust. Fans, teammates, and coaches know that when he is on the pitch, they can rely on him. Opponents know that no matter how well they defend, he will always create chances and pose a threat. This trust has made him one of the most respected figures in football because he doesn't just deliver occasionally, he delivers regularly, which is much harder and much rarer. It is consistency that transforms greatness from a moment into a legacy. Ronaldo's career also shows that consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. He has had bad games, he has missed penalties, he has lost finals. But consistency means he does not stay down after those moments. He always comes back, always responds, and always returns to form. This resilience is part of consistency, showing up again and again, regardless of setbacks. Many players fall into long slumps after failures, but Ronaldo refuses to let one moment define him. His ability to reset and continue delivering is what makes him consistently great. Perhaps the most inspiring lesson from Ronaldo's consistency is that it shows success is not about extraordinary moments, but about ordinary habits done consistently well. He doesn't just rely on spectacular goals to define him. He relies on the steady accumulation of hard work, discipline, and focus every single day. Over time, those small, consistent actions add up to create greatness. His story proves that you don't need to be perfect once. You need to be committed always. In the end, consistency is the glue that holds together all of Ronaldo's other strengths. Discipline gives him structure. Obsession with improvement pushes him to evolve. But consistency is what allows him to transform those qualities into a career of sustained excellence. Without consistency, discipline and improvement would not matter because they would only show in bursts. With consistency, Ronaldo has become a legend who didn't just shine for a few seasons but dominated for decades. His name is written in the history books not because he was brilliant once, but because he was brilliant again and again, season after season, until no one could ignore his greatness. Cristiano Ronaldo's life is the ultimate proof that consistency is the true measure of success. Talent can start your journey, but only consistency can build a legacy. That is why his career will always be remembered not just for the goals and trophies, but for the fact that he delivered them relentlessly, without pause, and without compromise, for over 20 years. Mentality has always been one of Cristiano Ronaldo's greatest strengths, a trait that has carried him through the highest peaks and the deepest challenges of his career. Football is not only a game of physical skill, speed, and fitness, it is also a game of the mind. Many players have had extraordinary talent, yet they fail to fulfill their potential because they lack the mentality to face pressure, criticism, and adversity. Ronaldo, on the other hand, has built his entire career on a mindset that refuses to give up, refuses to doubt, and refuses to accept anything less than excellence. His mentality is not simply about being confident. It is about being relentless, focused, and mentally strong enough to endure the demands of a sport where only the toughest survive. For Ronaldo, mentality is not a side ingredient. It is the very core of why he has reached the level he has. From the very beginning of his journey, Ronaldo displayed an uncommon mental resilience. Growing up in Madeira, he faced many obstacles. His family struggled financially. He had to leave home at a young age, and he endured loneliness while chasing his dream in Lisbon. For many young players, such struggles can break their spirit, but Ronaldo's mentality allowed him to see challenges as opportunities. He turned hardship into motivation, using every difficulty as fuel to work harder. This ability to reframe challenges into stepping stones is a central part of his mentality. It gave him the foundation to face the pressures that would come later in his professional career. Ronaldo's mentality is defined by his unshakable self-belief. He has always carried an inner conviction that he belongs at the very top, even when others doubted him. As a teenager at Manchester United, he was sometimes mocked for his flashy style of play, yet he never allowed criticism to weaken his confidence. Instead, he believed in his ability to adapt, evolve, and prove his worth. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is the mental strength to trust in your preparation, your work, and your vision even when external voices tell you otherwise. Ronaldo has shown this throughout his career. When he faces boos from rival fans, criticism from pundits, or doubt from skeptics, his mentality allows him to stay calm, stay confident, and continue delivering. One of the most visible signs of Ronaldo's mentality is his ability to thrive under pressure. Football is full of moments where the entire weight of the game rests on one player's shoulders. Penalty kicks in finals, free kicks in the dying minutes, must-win games against the toughest opponents. Many players shrink under such pressure, but Ronaldo relishes it. He wants the ball when it matters most. He demands responsibility, and he thrives in the spotlight. His mentality is built on embracing pressure rather than fearing it. This is why he has so many decisive goals in Champions League knockout games, why he has scored last-minute winners, and why he has carried Portugal in crucial international matches. His mind is trained to see pressure not as a threat, but as an opportunity to prove his greatness. Another dimension of his mentality is his response to failure. Even the greatest players miss chances, lose matches, or endure poor performances. What separates Ronaldo is his refusal to let failure linger. When he misses a penalty, he does not allow the mistake to define him. He takes the next one with even more confidence. When he loses a final, he returns the next season hungrier than before. Failure does not break him, it fuels him. That mentality of resilience is what has allowed him to remain at the top for so long. Many players let one bad moment spiral into weeks or months of poor form. But Ronaldo's mindset is built to bounce back immediately. He understands that setbacks are temporary, but mentality is permanent. Ronaldo's mentality also includes an insatiable hunger for success. Even after achieving what most players only dream of, multiple Ballon d'Ors, Champions League titles, and international trophies, he has never allowed himself to be satisfied. His mentality rejects the idea of enough. Each success becomes motivation for the next one. Each record broken is replaced by another target. This hunger keeps him sharp, focused, and competitive long after others would have slowed down. His mentality is built on the belief that there is always more to achieve, always another challenge to conquer. That is why he continues to push himself even in his late 30s, when many players have long retired. Another key part of his mentality is discipline in handling distractions. Fame, wealth, and recognition can destroy an athlete's focus if not managed properly. Many talented players lose themselves in the glamour of success, forgetting the hard work that got them there. Ronaldo, however, has always maintained a mentality that keeps his focus on football and personal growth. He does not allow distractions to interfere with his training, his preparation, or his performance. This mental focus is one of the reasons why he has stayed consistent for such a long time. He knows how to block out noise, whether it comes in the form of praise or criticism, and concentrate only on what truly matters. His mentality is also evident in his leadership. Ronaldo leads not only by his goals, but also by the strength of his mindset. In the Portuguese national team, he has been the emotional anchor, inspiring teammates through both words and actions. His mentality radiates confidence, and that confidence spreads to those around him. Younger players look at him and realize that success comes not just from skill, but from mental toughness. He lifts the mentality of his team by showing them how to fight until the last minute, how to never give up, and how to believe even when the odds are against them. Ronaldo's mentality is also shaped by his competitive nature. He is not satisfied with being good. He wants to be the best. This competitiveness drives his training, his performances, and his hunger to break records. It also shapes the way he views rivals. Instead of fearing competition, he uses it as motivation to improve. The presence of other great players, like Lionel Messi, did not intimidate him. It inspired him to work harder, to push himself further, and to elevate his game. His mentality transforms rivalry into fuel, turning potential threats into opportunities for growth. Perhaps the most inspiring aspect of Ronaldo's mentality is that it is something anyone can learn from. Not everyone can have his physical gifts or natural footballing talent, but everyone can develop mental strength. His career teaches that mentality is about choices, the choice to stay disciplined, the choice to remain confident, the choice to keep fighting even when things are difficult. Ronaldo's mentality is proof that greatness is as much about the mind as it is about the body. It shows that success is not just about skill, but about how you think, how you respond, and how you persist. In the end, Ronaldo's mentality has been the invisible armor protecting his career. It has shielded him from doubt, driven him through setbacks, and fueled him through victories. It is what allowed him to perform consistently at the highest level for 2 decades, what gave him the courage to take responsibility in decisive moments, and what kept him hungry even after achieving everything. Without this mentality, his story would not be the same. With it, he became not only one of the greatest footballers of all time, but also an inspiration to millions who see in him the power of mental strength. His life proves that mentality is the true difference maker between those who dream and those who achieve, between those who rise and those who remain behind. Cristiano Ronaldo's mentality is not just his personal weapon, it is his greatest gift to the world. A reminder that no matter where you start, if your mind is unbreakable, your potential is limitless. Sacrifice has been the silent companion of Cristiano Ronaldo's entire journey, the invisible price behind the glory, the foundation that allowed him to transform his dreams into reality. When people look at Ronaldo today, they see the luxury, the trophies, the fame, and the countless achievements. What they do not always see is the life of sacrifices he has made from the very beginning, sacrifices that continue even today. Nothing about his career came easily or freely. Everything demanded giving up something valuable. Sacrifice is painful, it is uncomfortable, and it is often lonely. But Ronaldo embraced it because he understood that greatness cannot be achieved without it. His story shows that behind every successful moment lies years of silent sacrifices that most people are unwilling to make. From a very young age, Ronaldo learned what it meant to sacrifice. Growing up in Madeira, his family did not have much money. His father worked as a kit man, and his mother struggled to provide for the family. Opportunities were limited, but Ronaldo had a dream that stretched far beyond the small island where he was born. At the age of just 12, he made one of the biggest sacrifices of his life. Leaving home, leaving his family, leaving the comfort of everything he knew to move to Lisbon. For a child, that was a heartbreaking decision, but it was necessary. He endured loneliness, he missed his parents deeply, and he often cried from the pain of being away from home. Yet, he accepted that sacrifice because he wanted to chase greatness. Many children might have chosen the comfort of staying with family, but Ronaldo chose the difficult path, showing from the start that sacrifice was part of his DNA. Sacrifice continued as he developed in Sporting Lisbon's academy. While many teenagers enjoyed social lives filled with fun, parties, and relaxation, Ronaldo dedicated himself to football. He sacrificed free time, entertainment, and even friendships, because he was focused entirely on improving his game. While others rested after training, he stayed back to practice. While others lived like ordinary teenagers, he lived with the mindset of a professional athlete. Sacrifice meant missing out on the pleasures of youth in order to build a future that only he could see at the time. This kind of sacrifice is invisible to most people, but it is exactly what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. As he became a professional, the sacrifices grew even greater. Ronaldo is famous for his strict lifestyle, which is a continuous chain of sacrifices. He avoids alcohol, unhealthy food, and late night parties, things that many athletes indulge in but that can shorten careers. His diet is carefully planned, his sleep schedule is precise, and his daily routines are filled with discipline. Sacrifice here means denying yourself immediate pleasures for long-term excellence. While others enjoy the comfort of giving in to temptation, Ronaldo sacrifices it all for the sake of maintaining peak performance. These sacrifices may seem small, but when practiced every day for decades, they become the key to extraordinary consistency. Sacrifice also applies to the physical side of his career. Footballers endure pain, injuries, and exhaustion, but Ronaldo has always gone further by pushing his body to its limits. He has sacrificed comfort in training, spending countless hours perfecting his body while enduring physical strain that most people would find unbearable. He has sacrificed his body on the pitch, putting himself in situations where injuries were possible just to score or defend. These sacrifices often go unnoticed, but they are part of why he has been able to perform at the highest level for so long. Every sprint, every leap, every collision involves giving something of himself, but Ronaldo accepts it because he knows greatness comes with a cost. Sacrifice has also defined his mentality and emotional life. Fame brings attention, admiration, and wealth, but it also steals privacy, peace, and normality. Ronaldo has sacrificed a normal life for a public one, where every action is watched, judged, and discussed. He cannot walk in the street without being surrounded by fans or cameras. He cannot live in anonymity like ordinary people. For many, this might sound glamorous, but in reality, it is a heavy price. Sacrifice here means giving up the freedom to live like everyone else, exchanging it for the constant responsibility of being a global icon. Ronaldo accepted that sacrifice because he understood it, was part of carrying the weight of his dreams. Sacrifice also shows in his family life. Ronaldo has always been devoted to his children and his mother, yet his career has often demanded being away from them for long periods due to training, matches, and travel. This is the hidden cost of professional sports. While he enjoys the rewards of success, he also endures the pain of missing ordinary family moments. Many times, he has chosen to sacrifice personal time in order to fulfill professional responsibilities. This balance is never easy, but Ronaldo's commitment to his career shows how far sacrifice extends into his personal life. Another profound aspect of Ronaldo's sacrifices is the mental burden he has carried. To be at the top of world football for 2 decades means carrying unimaginable pressure, expectations from fans, responsibilities to clubs, constant comparisons with rivals, and the need to deliver in every match. This pressure is exhausting, but Ronaldo has accepted the sacrifice of living under it because he knows that greatness requires enduring stress that most people would avoid. Sacrificing peace of mind for the sake of pushing limits is a choice that has defined his journey. Ronaldo's sacrifices are not only personal, they are also professional. Throughout his career, he has sacrificed comfort to take risks. Leaving Manchester United for Real Madrid, leaving Real Madrid for Juventus, and later moving to Saudi Arabia, each move came with uncertainties, challenges, and criticism. But sacrifice often involves stepping out of comfort zones to chase new heights. He could have stayed in one place, enjoying stability, but his mentality pushed him to sacrifice safety for ambition. Each decision brought new challenges, but also new opportunities to prove himself again and again. What makes Ronaldo's story of sacrifice truly powerful is that it shows greatness is never free. People admire his goals, his wealth, his fame, and his records, but they rarely see the sacrifices that made them possible. Sacrifice is waking up early to train when your body craves rest. Sacrifice is eating clean when others enjoy indulgence. Sacrifice is pushing through pain when comfort calls. Sacrifice is leaving loved ones behind to chase dreams in a foreign land. Sacrifice is living under pressure without breaking. Ronaldo embodies all of this, showing the world that if you want extraordinary success, you must pay an extraordinary price. His sacrifices also carry an inspirational lesson for everyone. Not everyone can become Cristiano Ronaldo, but everyone can learn from his willingness to give up short-term comfort for long-term goals. In life, whether in sports, academics, business, or personal growth, sacrifice is always part of the journey. Ronaldo's life proves that you cannot have everything. You must choose what matters most and be willing to let go of everything that stands in the way. Sacrifice is not easy, but it is the road to greatness. In the end, Ronaldo's sacrifices are as much a part of his legacy as his goals and trophies. They are the untold story behind the success, the hidden price that most never see, but that explains why he stands above so many others. His career shows that without sacrifice, talent fades and dreams die, but with sacrifice, anything is possible. Sacrifice is not about losing, it is about choosing what matters most. Ronaldo chose greatness, and for that, he sacrificed everything else. That is why he is not just a football legend, but an example of what it truly takes to reach the very top. His story teaches the world that greatness demands sacrifice, and that those willing to pay that price can achieve the impossible.